Hey guys, as promised, I am live today to start our weekly 10-minute yoga series. For today and the first couple of weeks, we're going to do a foundation series where I lay the groundwork and explain each step of the 10-minute class so you know before we actually start a practice what we're doing. So today we're talking about centering. It's the first part of our 10-minute yoga class. And it's either a simple meditation or breathing practice. The point of it is for us to step onto the mat and collect ourselves, let go of what's gone on during the day, and bring our awareness out of this stuff and into like our mind and our body. So we call the breathing practices pranayama, and it can be seen as breath control or breath restraint. Prana is our energy, our life force within our body, and we all know that if we're not breathing, we don't have life. And you can have pranayamas or breathing practices that are relaxing or energizing. Most of the time I'm going to work on relaxing ones because that is what most of us need. We lead busy lives and it's constantly go, go, go. So we need more calm and relaxation, in our lives. If I choose to do a meditation, I usually choose to do that at the end of practice rather than the beginning. And the end is better because it's more a culmination of our practice. I have notes, so I want to make sure I cover everything. I'm trying to get used to the 10-minute format. I'm used to either 60, 75, or a 90-minute class. So this is a practice for me, too, to learn how to get it all in 10 minutes. So for today's centering, we're going to practice the Ujjayi Breath, which is a pretty common breath in yoga. I personally believe it to be one of the easiest breaths and one of the ones that you probably want to use the most. It's known as the victorious breath, or ocean breath, or Darth Vader breath. And the purpose of it is to help you sync your breath with your movement. But it's also an amazing tool to keep your mind present on the mat, rather than your mind jumping around to your to-do list or somebody that pissed you off before class or whatnot. So if you always remember, like when you notice that your mind wanders, because it's going to, that's normal. We can't have a completely blank mind. But that moment where you realize, oh shit, my mind is not on my practice, it's not on my breath or whatever, you can just bring your mind back to that Ujjayi breath, link it with the movement that you're doing, and you bring yourself back to the mat, to the present moment. The Ujjayi breath is a great balancing breath. It increases oxygen to the brain, which we know is amazing. It can help regulate your blood pressure. It's great for relieving tension. It can help you keep a rhythm to your practice, with the linking the breath to the movement. And it increases feelings of presence, self-awareness, and it has meditative qualities. It's a great breath. So to use the Ujjayi breath, we're going to use it in our practice. We're going to start with our centering in our easy pose, which is just a cross-legged Indian style pose. And you do it with your lips closed, and you start breathing in and out through your nose. But what you do when you do that is try to create an audible breath, which is that Darth Vader. That's kind of over-exaggerated. I don't even know if you can hear it, but you're just slightly constricting your throat, so it creates an audible sound when you're breathing. So for example, linking it to the breath with the movement, you're going to inhale and lift up or expand, and you're going to exhale and lower or contract. So that's how we're going to link it with our movement later on in our practice. So when we start with our centering and with our breathing, we are in our easy pose. Our eyes are closed. Our face muscles are relaxed. Our jaw is relaxed. I apologize for my neighbor's dog barking if you can hear it. Try to tune that out. Your shoulders are relaxed, and as you're breathing, you're allowing your belly and your rib cage to fully expand. You're going to feel your chest rise, you're going to feel your collarbones lift, and when you exhale, you're going to have the converse of that. So you're going to let your belly relax back in, let your rib cage relax, let the shoulders drop a little bit more, let the collarbones drop. So you're going to inhale and exhale. So the beginning part of our practice is going to be that centering, and it's just going to be bringing our mind and our awareness to that Ujjayi breath. And that's typically how we're going to start every one of our 10-minute yoga classes. If you're just joining, I'm just doing setting the foundation for the 10-minute yoga series that will be coming in weeks to come. We're talking about the first part of our 10-minute practice, which is the centering, and we're going to be using the Ujjayi breath to center ourselves to prepare us for our physical on-the-mat practice. So when you are doing this centering and you're listening to your Ujjayi breath, you're concentrating to the sound of your breath. You allow that sound, much like sitting and listening to the ocean, you allow that to relax you. Many people find it really easy to imagine that sound like the ocean. And as you inhale, you imagine pulling the waves to the shore. And as you exhale, you imagine that that breath is pushing the waves back out to the ocean. So we inhale and we exhale. So it's another way, if you're still having trouble learning how to make that audible sound, just imagine trying to make the sound of ocean waves in your nose and in your throat with your mouth closed as you inhale and exhale. So a few little things: if you begin to feel uncomfortable, if you feel faint or dizzy, if you begin to feel anxious, because if you have a tendency to have anxiety, breathing exercises and changing or restricting your breath can bring out anxiety. So always stop, and if you feel comfortable, you can try again. If not, just return to your normal breath, and you can have a normal breath throughout a yoga practice. This is just one tool that can help enhance your class, but it is not necessary. And then, just like I said in the beginning, throughout our practice, when you're trying to use this Ujjayi breath and you notice that you're thinking about, oh, I have this to do after class and I got to remember to do this after class, or so-and-so got on my nerves today. As soon as you notice that thought, one, don't give yourself a hard time, because it's totally normal. Our minds are meant to be that way, and this is a practice. So you're going to practice bringing those thoughts back to the breath, bringing yourself back to the mat, back to the practice. So this Ujjayi breath is also great off the mat. So if you are at work and somebody irritates you and you're feeling agitated, if you're in traffic, if you're standing in a line that's going slow, anything that can bring you any kind of irritation, agitation, or stress, you can use the Ujjayi breath to help kind of just bring yourself back in, relax yourself. A lot of times when we get stressed or anxious or agitated, we tend to kind of go like this and we constrict our breath, which just makes it worse. So if you just bring your mind to some sort of controlled breath, it really helps to relax you and relax your nervous system. I use it a lot when I'm struggling to sleep at night. I just create a little bit more of an audible breath. I bring my awareness to my breath. It helps me increase my inhales and increase my exhales, which eventually relaxes me enough to fall asleep. Let's see. It's great for, I've already said all that. So another contraindication, or if you have these conditions, you should not practice the Ujjayi breath, is if you have any respiratory conditions like asthma or emphysema. It's not great if you have that. If you do, I still welcome you to the mat. Of course, have approval from your doctor before doing that, but just keep a breath that's comfortable for you during your practice. I don't want to dissuade you from coming onto the mat and practicing with us. All right, so we are getting close to the end here. I just want to do a few more explanations of how to do this with a practice and how we may use it when we start our 10-minute series. So usually you do the inhale and you expand on the inhale. So you give your ribs and your belly and your chest room to expand as you inhale, and you're going to, as you exhale, pull it all back in. So one great example is a seated cat-cow. Many of us know how to do cat-cow on our hands and our knees, but you can do it seated. So what you do is you have your hands on your knees and you're going to inhale and press your chest forward and arch your back. And as you exhale, you're going to push your chest, or bring your chest in, contract your stomach, exhale the breath, push the spine to the back, tuck the chin. Cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Coming back to a comfortable seated pose. You're going to inhale up and exhale lower. Inhale up and exhale lower. Plant the right hand on the ground next to you. Inhale, reach the left hand up. Reach it all the way over and feel that stretch down your side. Remembering the Ujjayi breath, we're going to inhale both arms to center. And exhale to the opposite side. One more time. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale to the opposite side. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. This time, rotate with a nice long spine to the right. Take your left hand across the right knee and your right hand to the floor behind you. And exhale. Inhale, coming back to center, lifting the arms up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale to center, arms up. And exhale to the other side. Last time, inhale the arms up. And exhale to the left. Relaxing and coming back to center. So that is typically how you're going to see the beginning part of our 10-minute practice. We're going to start with the centering, where we bring our mind and our bodies to the mat. We connect with our breath, whatever breath you choose to use, and we're going to do a quick warm-up before we go into the next step. The next video that I'm going to share with you guys next week is going to be the next step. We're going to talk about sun salutations, which you typically see in the beginning of every yoga class. Thank you guys so much for the first part of the series. I hope that it serves you, and I hope that you look forward to the next few weeks to come. I definitely am. Have a great day, guys.